A man who masturbates so much, his left fist is registered as a weapon. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get on. No choice. They're going to mandate you get it on. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for telling a friend. We love that about you, right, Gina Grad?
That's right.
Handball, Brian.
People hate you.
Luenell breakout role was the prostitute from Borat.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
she crashed
Oh,
the
shit.
fancy Southern dance.
That's
Yes.
right.
That was awesome. So she's also
She's
really
fun,
funny stand-up.
yeah.
So we'll talk to her about her crazy life. I was, it's kind of interesting. So somebody tweeted me that a couple of service dogs at Home Depot got into a fight, and then they bit one of the women who was there. And it was just scrum, and everyone was screaming and blah, blah, blah. And Chris, you can look for that. I didn't give you a heads up on it, but I don't really need that. The point is we're not only is everyone bringing their dog everywhere, and then the dogs are fighting and the dogs are biting customers and things of that nature, but there's also this overwhelming concern for dogs that's not really represented in many communities, like Black and Hispanic, but
Guatemalan.
Asian, Guatemalan. But you get the whiteys in Malibu, and it's all about the dog.
Protected class.
You go to a nice neighborhood. I've told you there's a feminine canine hydration disorder, or the acronym is like FUCK.
Fuck.
But I've walked Phil and had many a woman pull off the side of the road and offer Phil water on a hot day. They're very worried about dogs, and not just their dogs.
No.
All dogs.
All dogs, universally.
More so strangers' dogs.
And so
Their dog's good.
Yeah.
I was at a nice brunch place in Malibu, sitting out. They had a nice area. All the places, maybe the upside of COVID is a lot of these places moved their stuff outdoors, put a little picket fence around
yeah.
it.
Little pergola.
Couple of umbrellas.
Yeah.
And now people go, oh, it's a nice day. I like to eat out there.
Yeah.
So I'm eating out there, and I got a elderly couple. And not only elderly, but the guy was the disheveled elderly, kind of had a Steve Bannon look.
Oh, boy.
But like a 75-year-old morbidly obese Steve Bannon look.
Steve
Steve
Bannon.
Bannon.
And, Bannon's probably 62. He's just got some hard miles on him, I think. This guy was that guy plus a decade.
Oh, boy.
And they brought their dog, but they tied it up to like a fire hydrant, water bib thing sticking out of the ground on a patch in the parking lot 25 feet from where they were sitting.
Can't do that.
And
I don't like
they
this.
just tied it up there. Now, I checked. It was 62 degrees outside. It was not hot, but the sun was shining. And I was just watching as numerous people, white chicks, walked over to the dog, petted the dog, comforted the dog, although the dog was just kind of sitting there. But the
Minding its own business.
dog was young, medium size, and a little hyperactive, would like yelp out a little bit. So then I just kept watching this kind of ballet of people just kept walking, and I was like, that's a lovable dog. Everyone seems to love it. Then at some point, somebody brought a bowl of water to the dog because you must hydrate.
Yes.
There's something going on in the mind of women and men who think like women that's obsessed with dogs and their water.
Because we can't be comfortable if we don't see a bowl in front of the dog.
Right.
It ruins our day.
Right. So I'm watching people are shepherding water over to the dog, then they're petting the dog, then they're coming back. But now there's some grumblings. There's a table of young, good-looking people that's next to the old, unattractive table, and there's some grumblings. Like, look at him. He's just out there alone. He's been out there for an hour. It's hot outside. It's like, well, it's not hot outside. Yes, he's been out there, but he has
offshore breeze.
Has his bowl of water. And then at some point, someone gets up from the table and says to the owners, can I just bring him here? Well,
That's quite a step.
I know. Unfortunately, there's another middle-aged Karen-esque woman with her medium-sized dog who's already eating amongst us.
Here we go.
And that dog will do all right, but not when you bring the other
Right.
dog, because then those two dogs want to get at it.
He's already claimed his territory.
I can tell you from walking Phil, when he gets around a dog that he wants to hang out with, there's almost no stopping him. He'll pull your shoulder out of socket. So now they bring the dog over.
Sorry, you said they're around the same size?
Yeah, they're medium sized, medium to large.
Okay.
And they bring the dog over. And now the table with the dog that you can't go out to eat without your dog. I feel like you could go have a fucking Denver omelet at 2 p.m. and then go home and pet your dog. But no, your dog must attend every event, even if it's amongst others who are just ironically trying to eat, which is weird. There's dander in the air.
It would be such a win-win-win if you left your dog home. The freaks like me wouldn't have to see the dog and be uncomfortable. Your dog would be happy because it would be in an air-conditioned home, and you don't have to think about your fucking dog.
Now the
And
dog
you avoid
is there.
interactions.
Exactly.
Now the woman who has the dog is annoyed that the other dog is there because that dog is yelping and her dog is yelping.
Can't have that.
And the guy, the Steve Bannon in the 70s guy, is sort of unfazed by the whole thing. He's like, that's a dog. I'm old.
Yeah.
And
What do you think was gonna happen?
it's 60 degrees outside. He drank water. We're going home soon. And then at some point, the young guy from the table of young, attractive people gets up, gets in the face of the old guy, calls him a fucker, and tells him he's this close to calling animal control. And he's like, that dog sitting out in the sun, no water. It's like, well, I did see someone bring a bowl over to him 40 minutes ago. And now it's a whole scrum inside the place between the young guy yelling at him before he leaves. And I thought, would you fucking people claim some dignity or perspective? There's people in China that are suffering. There's slave labor. There are, human trafficking.
Women can't go to school anymore.
Just get your priorities straight, would you please? Don't dump it all into one strange dog.
My first thought was, like if this guy could see himself, a recording of himself confronting this man, he'd be ashamed. But then I'm like, no, he wouldn't. He'd be like, look at that hero.
No, he would.
Look at that hero.
He would put it up on TikTok. So that ruined the brunch.
Boy.
Then moving on to Eric Stromer, because I just did Ace on the House with Stromer. He came in with a new hairdo.
How dare he?
I know. And
Why would he cut those gorgeous locks?
and he needed my input. He wanted to
After the
know.
haircut?
He wanted to know what I thought about his new hairdo.
Wait,
I told Stromer he looked like Ricky Nelson. That he had Ricky Nelson's hairdo.
I think it's between the hair part in the middle and the glasses. He looks like Dwight Schrute.
Oh, got a
Office.
little bit of Dwight Schrute. Yeah, he had it parted down the middle like the old Ricky Nelson or the newer Ricky Nelson. But anyway, I told him he looked like Ricky Nelson. And then I launched off on a deep dive into Ricky Nelson because, I know the man
help yourself.
intimately
Right.
because I've interviewed his sons from Gunner from Nelson, from the band Nelson.
After the Rain was their hit.
Was it?
Washes away the tears and all the pain. Oh, after the rain,
Yeah,
we'll live again.
They made some noise in the early 90s.
That was
or
the
something.
noise.
Ironically, it was their hair that kind of brought them into prominence. But then I started thinking, I had Mr. Nelson, my gym coach in junior high, which was like Ricky's cousin, and he was real good looking and popular.
Sure.
Wow.
And then I was thinking back on Ricky, and I know he died in a plane crash, and he died in 1985. He's the son of Ozzie and Harriet.
Right.
Some people know that, the Nelsons. He is the Nelson of Ozzie and Harriet, the TV show. And died in 85, died in a plane crash. Very interesting plane crash.
Yeah, you were the rumors.
What?
It was like there were drugs in the back. or
Freebasing
whatever.
crack caused the plane to catch fire.
Catch
Oh,
fire.
boy.
But a very rare,
Supposedly.
very rare time when a plane crashed and both pilots survived, but everyone in the cabin, including Ricky,
Wow.
died in the plane. You
Are
never
those
hear
good
about.
pilots or bad pilots?
Well, they're good in that they set the plane down in one piece enough so they could escape. But then at some point when they jump out the cockpit window,
Huh. Because they're front and center. You think they'd be impacted first.
I guess there was a fire, and I guess they set it down somewhere, and then they both jumped out, apparently. No one really knows the story, but that's how poor Ricky went. And Ricky had all these hits when he was a teeny bopper star, the 50s.
They would let him do songs at the end of the episodes.
Oh, right.
I had to do a report on him for like a music class in high school
love
or something.
that.
Yeah, he was famous, obviously, and then they started trotting him out to play a song at the end of the episode.
He had a big hit, which was a precursor to Rambling. He had Traveling Man.
Man.
Made a lot of stops all over the world. And he had chicks stashed in every port, and they were all different ethnicities, and he would bang them when he came to town.
But I think it was probably more nuanced than that.
Nope. That's
Not
a quote.
really.
Direct quote.
And he had his little senorita and old Mexico and his little China doll.
I stand corrected
Oh,
very much.
Oh, yeah. So
Ricky had a song on the Pulp Fiction soundtrack.
Which
Oh, he
one?
did.
Welcome down to Lonesome.
Oh, Lonesome
Oh,
Town,
wow.
right. He had Hello, Mary Lou, Goodbye Heart. He had all these poppy whatever
Right.
hits.
Kind of Buddy Holly-ish.
And then later came back with Garden Party,
That was a big comeback hit.
big comeback hit after being asked to do the old stuff at the Garden.
Do you know the story about that one?
Yeah.
Ryan.
I
do.
did the report.
I love
on
it.
It's all buried in my memory. Ricky Nelson was doing like a concert. It was like a multi-headliner kind of festival.
But they were all
throwbacks.
all throwbacks. Bo
Right.
Diddley and Chuck Berry and
This is
these
circa
guys.
76.
71.
Oh, wow. Okay, so past his prime. And he's playing one of his hits, and all of a sudden there's booze raining down from the upper deck. It turns out there was a fight. That's the story that I had heard. They were like booing the security. He didn't know that. He just thought they were booing him.
Right.
And he ended up writing this song called Garden Party, which ended up being one of, if not his biggest hits.
Yeah. And it was more like, if that's what this is, I'd rather drive a truck, he says in something. Like he had a bad experience. They didn't want to hear any new sound.
He thought,
and everyone was there. And then that led to a discussion of, in the song, he's talking about Yoko's there with her walrus. So John Lennon is there.
Right.
And then you go, why is John Lennon on that bill? But John Lennon isn't on that bill. John Lennon lives 5 blocks from Madison Square Garden.
He loves Chuck Berry.
And he's there to see Chuck Berry.
wow.
So then that leads to the tape from Mike Douglas that you guys remember, but it's been years since we've played it, where John Lennon gets to play with his idol, Chuck Berry. Mm-hmm. And then Chuck Berry gets to play with a Beatle. So it's pretty cool.
Put him back in the spotlight.
Unfortunately, Yoko wanted to be out on stage as well.
Oh,
She's
no.
part of the band.
She's part of the band. And so they hand her just a small drum. She can hold it and smack on it. Basically, what they did is what they did with Tracy from the Partridge Family. They just went, you're 7. You
Scoot
can't
on
play.
tambourine.
Here's a tambourine. Just stand over there.
I
All
would
right.
like to have 1/100th of her confidence.
Me too.
Yeah.
It would
100%.
change my life.
I told you I went to a Ben Folds 5 or just a Ben Folds listening party with a whole bunch of music journalists, and we're sitting at the table. And at some point, and this is basically every conversation I've had as an adult, I said, what's up with Yoko? What am I missing? What is there? I see this stuff. But then she has a concert and people show up. And a nice lady, who was a music journalist, went, oh, I've seen Yoko a few times. And I said,
On purpose?
oh, so what? Explain to me why.
Crossing the
Like,
street.
I feel like I'm missing something.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, yeah, no, it was great. And I go,
In what way?
It was great. So what, does she do something that I don't see? Because I'd like some clarification here. And she went, no, she just wails into the mic. She does that. And then I go, that's great. That's enjoyable. And she goes, well, you got to admire her guts. I'm like, you
Wow.
do? Is that how venues
I got
work?
reduced a lot.
So this guy is a stand-up comedian who has no experience and no talent, no ability,
No
and
material.
he grabs the mic and just goes up on stage,
Farts into it.
and rambles for 20 minutes, and then we have to admire him, or
his
he's an
bravery.
asshole who doesn't
Right.
belong on stage.
Right.
So then I was thinking, Yoko's done this multiple times.
Right.
And I don't know where John's. See, I would not make a good John Lennon because
Me
I would be
either.
like, I'm going to go with Bo Diddley and I'm going to go sit in. And he's down at CBGB's or something. And she's going, oh, let me get my tambourine. Bo.
Can't find the tambourine.
Yeah, why don't you hang back? We're going to spend all that time in bed. Why don't you get a head start? I'll be back. I would not bring her everywhere and then walk her out on stage. Okay. So then I started thinking, I think Linda McCartney had some of this too.
Okay.
There's famous clips of her
Oh, you're 100% right.
trying to harmonize. You wrote a book report on
I
Linda
did,
McCartney?
but no, she's famously awful. I think the opposite is true, where Paul insisted on her being in the band. She's like, I'm a fucking photographer.
Right.
He's like, no, you're good, baby. Come on.
Well, she got out there, and then there's footage. I don't know if
I'd
Chris
like to hear
found
that.
it or not, but there's definitely of her being pretty off key while he's singing, "Baby, I'm Amazed" or
Right.
something like that,
Maybe I'm amazed.
or maybe I'm amazed.
You know what I would tell Yoko if I was John? I'd say this would be a great time to do a protest. We take a big piece of silver duct tape, we put it over your mouth, and you can write anything on it that you want,
And
and you'll
more.
show them.
Yeah, let's see, soy bomb.
Yes.
Don't worry about what it's going to mean.
Doesn't matter.
Kids are
Put
into
it on it.
Yes.
Right. You definitely have to go find the guys running the mixing board and go, which mic is, okay, just
Grab
go
the
ahead.
scissors,
Let me
cut the
grab that
wire.
potentiometer
That's right.
and see if I can slide it all the way down. So, so this is Paul singing with Linda's
Yeah,
backing him
they're
up.
playing "Hey Jude" at a concert in Knebworth. I don't know, but this is an infamous tape that has been passed around by sound engineers. And then Paul McCartney eventually defended her, saying that she was clapping when she was singing, and she was trying to get the crowd riled up, so she wasn't really focusing on pitch. But here it is.
All right, you get it. So
Downright pleasant compared to what we just heard.
we live in a world where women are second-class citizens and making 77 cents on the dollar and all that stuff. But I would argue there are no examples of Joni Mitchell's talentless husband insisting on joining, or Carole King's ne'er-do-well, lazy sack of shit husband going, hey, baby, where's my mic? I'm coming up on stage. Because we would frown on that.
Yeah.
We would go, get that sack of shit off the stage.
Celine Dion's husband's in the biz. He knows where to stay.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
Off stage.
That's right. Pulling the strings.
In a casket.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
It's really
He's
neat.
been gone for a while. So I'm
knew-
just
he knew
saying,
where
in
to
a
stay.
world where,
Yeah.
the ladies are treated unfairly, I don't think there are any examples of prominent females singers
so.
whose talentless sack of shit husbands insist on joining them on stage. And we also live in a world that would destroy and attack
Oh,
that
yeah.
immediately.
Happily.
It's the same difference between... Sorry, Brian.
Go
The
on.
guys who are married to successful women
Right.
and the dudes who hang out
The ne'er-do-well
around the house.
husband,
Those
yeah.
guys get a lot of shit.
That's right.
The reverse,
Deservedly.
we give a name for them.
Yeah.
In my effort to shit on your point, all I could think of is Sonny and Cher, but he was the Svengali.
Yes.
He was the one who put it all together.
Yeah, he could sing a little bit, but not much. But he could
He's an
sing.
entertainer.
He'd sing the songs that he could write
Right.
songs and then sing those songs. All right. Mike August is on line. Well, no, hold on a second. We gotta
Set the
take bets.
table.
We gotta take bets on static. I talked to Mike yesterday. Could not hear a goddamn word he was saying. He's always talking about how windy it is. Did he move to an F1 testing facility where they're doing aerodynamics? Or,
No, he's at the iFly.
yeah, why is it always windy where Mike is?
He's in the turbine.
Mike?
Sorry, I'm still trying to catch my breath from running to Lake to the Indianapolis airport. Sorry, give me a sec.
It's a marvelous sense of humor.
That's good.
How about you leave the joking to Adam?
So, Mike, we were talking about you getting locked out of the plane at 6 a.m.
God damn it. God damn it.
I think the first question everyone has, Mike, is did you encounter / confront the gentleman who wouldn't let you on as he exited the jetway?
Yes! Who denied any knowledge of my existence.
He was wearing a
And
walkie-talkie.
I've been on the phone with Adam on the plane telling me I've been paged. The door's shut. I'm shut out. The plane is still sitting there. And the asshole walks out of the door. The door suddenly opens like a cuckoo clock. And a retarded chicken comes out. And I said, oh, great. Here I am. You can put me on a plane. And he's like, huh? Like, I'm the guy you've been paging. Right? We're going to put me on the plane. He goes, we're not paging anybody.
What?
He shuts the door and he walks right past me.
Wow.
There
Oh my
was
God.
Son of a bitch.
there was this
Stupid or liar?
This guy liar because I heard him on the plane saying that Mr. Tamarillo showed up at the gate. This guy was like an old school throwback, like 60-something-year-old, like one of your dad's friends from the 70s kind of look to him. He was straight, and the chick was super straight, too. Didn't seem to be a lot of wiggle room with those two, Mike. I have no idea. I don't know why they're so invested. Like, you're standing there, he's on the plane, the door's open, you have a first-class ticket, you're the first seat in the plane. Just why the investment? You know when people get invested in you not doing something?
And that's their mission.
Why? Why not go, oh, okay, yeah, fine.
How about path of least resistance? What's easier? Put the first class passenger on the plane, let him walk 25 yards down the ramp and sit in his seat, as opposed to now deal with him on this end, angry as hell, and you have to rebook him and deal with him for the next hour and a half as I sat there waiting for the next goddamn plane. What the fuck is wrong with these people?
I feel this way about every horrible neighbor I've ever had. It's like, I have a garage full of tools and a fridge full of beers. We don't have to have this relationship.
We can have a fridge full of beers.
You're next to me.
Yeah.
You got to live next to me. Why are we burning calories getting me to hate you? And yes, why are we agitating the shit out of Mike and then shutting the door?
And creating more work for yourselves.
Right.
You know? and the bitch of it is, as we always talk about with these people, is, well, let's complain to their management. Guess who their management is? The very people that had the jobs before these assholes, right? So you go to the management, and they're like, well, what's the problem? Because they're as big a prick as the person you just dealt with. And so is the person above them. That's what happens to these companies, is you have horrible, shitty people managing horrible, shitty people, and it's just a waterfall of just shitty customer service. You just can't say enough bad things about how these people treat customers. I mean, they're the tip of the spear. They're the ones who are supposed to be solving our problems. These guys are going out of their way to create fucking problems. What is that? How is that even tolerated in a customer relationship?
I don't know, but you're reminding me of an old story when Dr. Drew and I were going out and doing colleges, and we had a very early flight out of LAX, and I was late, but not that late. And it was the exact same situation where you're just staring at the plane, staring at the cockpit. You could see the two people. You could just see the plane just sitting there. And you're standing there by the gate. I don't know. I'm not sure about the wisdom of putting the floor-to-ceiling glass so that everyone who gets locked out is going...
Stares like a bakery window.
Well, I mean, what if you did it to other modes of transportation, like it was a limousine, and you're going, that's my limo. I'm looking at my limo. Yeah, sorry, we shut the door.
Yeah.
Or even if it was a donkey, you know what I mean? Like, that's my donkey. No, you can't get on it. Like, I'm looking at it. It is sitting there, and the gate, the jetway still attached to it. Like, how is it possible that I can't get onto this mode of transportation? But so what happened to me, Mike, is Drew got on the plane. I'll never forget it. His wife, we were going to St. Louis. It was cold, whatever. His wife got him a cashmere duster, a full-length winter cashmere coat. He got onto the plane, put the cashmere coat up in the stall. I was sitting next to him, I guess. He was waiting for me. Got nervous, walked off the plane, They left his cashmere coat, and then they shut the door. And I was just staring at the pilots going, you can just let me on. And they wouldn't let me on. And I said to the guy who wouldn't let me on, who was the same, basically the younger brother of the asshole that you dealt with, I said to him, after getting super frustrated, and I'm like, sir, we can't, we closed the door, sir. I just went, get me the guy from the commercial. And
That's one of my favorite quotes of yours.
He went, what? I go, from the commercial, the commercial.
Overly helpful guy.
You know the
Always
commercial
smiling.
where the guy leaves his attaché case and one of your guys grabs it and chases him out to the curb. Sir, I think you forgot. Where's he? Where is that guy? I've seen him on every commercial. Where is he? It ain't you. Get me him. And the person just kept looking at me and go, the commercial. I want the guy from the commercial. Go find the guy from the commercial. And they was like,
That's very Albert Brooks of you.
It was. It was very, very Albert Brooksy of me.
Is a fiction. He never existed.
He doesn't
You know
exist.
what the real bullshit it is? Okay, fine. If you've got some fucking regulation or protocol or time, whatever the fuck it is that says I can't get on the plane even though I'm there, then why don't you fucking explain it to me, right? Why don't you take the time and say, here's why we can't do this.
Right.
Instead, the asshole lies to me, right, and then brushes past me. So I'm just left there going, ready to strangle somebody. I mean, they literally double down. It's almost like they want you to go off like a volcano. They're so dead as people that they're trying to antagonize you.
Well,
I got to sit there in front of that gate for another hour and a half waiting for the next plane. When she came around the corner, like to take her donut break, I stared at her. She wouldn't even meet my eyes, right? She wouldn't even look at me.
well,
That big fat.
they didn't. See, they probably had no way of knowing that I was on the phone with you, sitting in first class, hearing the guy with the talkie when they're telling him that you're standing at the gate. And I look, totally right. If the guy goes, look, the FAA, they're a bunch of assholes. They're overficious.
Yeah.
At the time, the way the time works is if we don't close the door, we're going to lose our on-time rating because they go by when the door closes. This is the first flight of the day, so it's the most important. And I completely get it.
The
I
door's
understand
marked as
it.
closed.
Right. That I get it. But they don't do that. That's the weird part.
They denied the whole thing.
Right.
Easy.
Yeah.
No, because we're all just cattle. I mean, we are just all a bunch of fucking cows to them. And if the cow gets away from the herd, well, that cow can fucking die. What do we care? I get paid the same whether everybody gets on that plane or not. So I'm not extending myself 1 inch. And that's on you, fucking United. Some of your employees literally should be exited from the building because they are fucking assholes.
No.
All right, Mike. Yes.
I would like to make.
It was a great weekend, wasn't it? A lot of fun.
Yeah.
I would like to make a little bit of lemonade out of this situation. A possible suggestion for Rich Banks: hey, Mr. Tamarillo, hold the plane for me. Something to think about.
The bird
In fact,
song.
I got to fly coach
Right.
all the way home.
Bob Dylan.
That.
I didn't get to fly
But the
coach.
birds covered
Hey,
it, too.
I had to fly assistant coach.
Tamarillo,
That's how
hold the
shitty it was
plane
for me.
Yeah.
I'm so sleepy, and there's somewhere I am going to.
Yeah, they also had another hit was 8 Miles High.
Yeah, there's the follow-up. Not 8 miles high.
What rhymes with terra firma? All right, Mike. Listen, congratulations on your phone connection. This is the first time I've ever understood most of what you said.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's see, we're making progress.
It's a big day.
On to
was afraid
Huntington
of him.
Beach, everybody.
Oh, Huntington Beach Sea Legs. Yeah,
Good
that's
time.
coming up May
Good time. The
20th.
airlines can't hurt us there, Adam. They
No.
can't hurt us. We're
That's a
gonna
home
drive.
game for August.
Yeah. All right. Have fun with that bucket of balls.
I'll get right back to it.
Are you hitting a bucket right now?
I am.
Okay.
Love it.
Fantastic. All right, Mike.
That United Airlines attendant's face on every ball.
The great Mike Goggin. All right, let me turn the page and tell you about blindsgalore.com. For 20 years plus, blindsgalore.com has made it easy to get custom blind shades and shutters and drapery, hand-built from scratch, created just for your windows and delivered right to your door. And you can do it all from your home. Just take the measurements, customize it online. You order up to 15 free samples so you can get the exact color you want. Do it online. They have an online builder so you can see what the shades look like on the screen. We have it in the edit bays. We have it here. I have it at my house. They're the best, and especially when it gets hot outside, you want to keep that heat on the other side of the window, and Blinds Galore can help you do that. Blinds Galore experts will help you every step of the way, either online or over the phone. Over 2 million windows covered and counting, and whether you need more privacy or just want to sleep in or cool down, it's Blinds Galore, right, Dawson?
Get the designer blinds and shades you've always wanted without the designer price at blindsgalore.com. That's blindsgalore.com, and let them know Adam sent you.
All right, let's see. Now, is Luenell here?
Yeah, she is. She's in the parking lot in her car, so we can go get her.
You want to just bring her in a little early?
I think that'd be fun. Yeah.
All right, I'd like to talk to Luenell, comedian, actress, and like I said, you know her from Borat. Breakout roles of prostitute in Borat. Take a quick break, talk to Luenell right after this.
It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Oh my God, this is just spectacular. I don't know if Louie can get a good shot of this, but the Adam Carolla show is fine example of California's gold.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Luenell is coming out of her car and is going to join us momentarily. But before she comes in here, Dawson got off his Prague tour, right?
Yeah.
Cruise, I should say.
At the Prague Rock Cruise, the Cruise to the Edge, which I learned is a takeoff from a Yes song called Close to the Edge, and it used to be the Yes Cruise. And now Yes is no longer on the cruise, but cruise had Martin Barr from Jethro Tull and the Alan Parsons Project and Saga. You remember Saga?
No, I don't remember Saga.
Tons of killer, wonderful bands. It was on the same boat that we were on for our last Carolla cruise.
Oh, Royal Caribbean?
Actually, yeah. On the Mariner of the Seas.
And were you doing stage announcements and the like?
I was crushing Mai Tais and introducing prog bands.
Oh, my God.
And then going everywhere they told me with a microphone to talk to the crowd.
This is the perfect gig for you.
And, at one point, my boss grabs me and goes, I need you to make a cruise ship announcement. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So we go into the cruise director's office. I press the button. It goes, boom, boom, boom. And then I speak to the cruisers. And as soon as I turn off the microphone, my boss's phone rings. And I'm like, oh, shit, I'm in trouble. Because, you get a little loose with the verbiage.
Oh, sure.
And the Mai Tais, yeah.
Like, oh, boy, I'm in trouble. And boss answers the phone. She listens for a second, and then she goes, Mike Dawson. And then she starts laughing. I'm like, what was that? That was our marketing director going, who was that?
Wow.
And I said, Mike Dawson. She goes, from the Adam Carolla show?
Oh.
Yeah.
And anyway, shout out to her husband, Nate, who's been listening to you since the Loveline days.
All right.
So, Dawson, did you ever have this thought on the cruise? Like, you're on your 7th Mai Tai, and someone comes up to
it's
you
the morning.
and goes, hey, the bass player from Alan Parsons wants you to play shuffleboard with him. Did you ever think, oh, I'm dead?
Yeah.
And this is
it.
this is my heaven on this perpetual cruise with a Mai Tai,
Actually,
hanging out with
frog
Ian
rockers.
Anderson.
On the Lido deck.
I have a very similar story.
You must have been confused at a certain point because if you
is heaven.
were a candidate from heaven, and that's disputable, but if you were in fact bound for heaven, and heaven, it's got to be your version or my version.
Right.
My version is driving a vintage car,
Right.
doing something like that, but it's got to be your version of heaven. This would be it on
This
a
was
cruise
it.
ship with Alan Parsons.
This was it. I was about on my 7th Mai Tai, and I went over to the smoking section to light up a cigarette. And as soon as I lit up a cigarette, a security guard comes and taps me on the shoulder. And I was like, oh, fuck, what did I do wrong now? And he leans down and goes, Alan Parsons would like you to join him. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm in heaven.
And he
But
ascended.
Did you go try to find a mirror to see if you could see your own reflection at that point?
It was a little fuzzy.
Throw
I was
yourself
kinda
off the
shaky.
boat. If I could
maybe-
fly.
It was like the Blues Brothers in the church. He
Yes.
was surrounded by a blue light.
Shaft of light comes
That's
down.
fabulous.
All right. Well, I saw Luenell walk into the building, so she can't be too far
Yeah,
off there.
we'll slide her in just a moment. She's getting settled.
All right.
But it was a ton of fun, and thank you so
Yeah.
much. Your rule with me has always been, You said to me a long time ago, I'm not going to tell you can't go make a buck with someone else as long as you come back.
Oh, that's a good pimp.
Thanks for letting me go work.
Said that to every woman I've been with.
That's
as
right.
well.
That's right.
So we have a Rich Banks song, I'm told, as well. So, goddamn, Dawson, that just sounds... Where did the cruise go to and from?
Cloud 9 and back.
That's right.
Out of Cape Canaveral. And the first stop was 5 days. The first stop was actually at an island off of Haiti.
Oh,
Wow.
boy.
In Haiti. That was a little weird.
Did they have you guys working?
Say it again?
Did they have you guys working and volunteering out there?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Sandbags.
And then the next spot was to that Coco Cay Island.
Oh, where we went.
Where we went for that fun day.
Basically
on
that
the thing.
that water slide island, which was awesome.
I got to tell you, Martin Barr playing with Jethro Tull, aside from seeing the Alan Parsons Project and introducing them and all that stuff, Martin Barr from Jethro Tull put a band together where he's got a guy who looks and sings like Ian Anderson, doesn't play the flute, but does all the very dramatic theatrics with that great voice. They played a 75-minute set of classic hard-rocking Jethro Tull out by the
One
pool.
song.
And that was when I had reached about my 12th Mai Tai.
Wow.
Do not
God bless.
sleep on Jethro Tull, man. Great songs.
good.
Yeah. Lots of good songs and a variety of songs as well. They must be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I believe so.
Well, now we gotta look it up. Thank God they rejected Devo. Devo, first off, zero rock and roll, but I know they let rappers and country singers in it. But it makes every discipline of music null and void if you let Devo into that party.
You guys ready to be sad?
No.
Nope.
No Jethro Tull.
Not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Honestly, I'm not surprised.
Don't say that in front of Luenell.
She'll flip
I don't
this
know
table
her,
over.
but I know the culture, and she's gonna fucking go nuts if she finds
Can't
it.
have that.
Yeah, I mean, the Thick as a Brick and Aqualung, and
They played an excerpt from a little-known album called A Passion Play, which is one 50-minute song.
did they play Skating Away?
They did not play Skating Away.
What?
They played Mother Goose. No, they didn't play Mother Goose. They played Cross-Eyed Mary.
Find Skating Away.
Skating
you guys
Away
know
is
that one?
No.
You,
Well,
I
never
think
heard
you
it.
will know it.
Meanwhile,
Okay.
back in the year one.
It's a very nice song. Jethro Tull had some like feeling like a dead duck.
Right, that's- we all know that one.
Yeah. The snot is running from his nose. Bum, bum, bum. But Skating Away is melodic and
can't wait to hear it.
beautifully crafted. I don't know if it's called Skating Away.
It's called Skating Away, and then parenthetically, On the Thin Ice of a New Day.
The Thin Ice of a New
Just
Day.
getting
Yeah,
himself a
Jethro
spot of
Tull
tea.
was like classically trained, and they were English, and they
Guy
could,
plays a goddamn flute.
Yeah.
guy plays the flute.
Lizzo.
Could put the phrases together. God damn! I told you that was a great song.
You know what's interesting? That is a fucking awesome song, and that is now in my repertoire. But you know what's interesting about it? It doesn't really have the beginning, middle, and end that you enjoy so much. It just
Yeah.
sort of is, and then it isn't.
I'm surprised in the classic. That didn't get many spins in the classic rock genre, but it did get
It did
some
not.
spins back in the day, like on KLOS or KMET or whatever.
Not
Another
on
deep cut
100.3.
They played My God from Aqualung, which it's a very religiously layered number. But it was all analog. It was four dudes plugged in, rocking hard.
Is Ian Anderson? He's still alive, right?
He's still alive. I saw Ian play a show about 3 years ago, but he played with a backing track. And these guys just were four old dudes jamming Tull.
All right. Well, here comes Luenell. She's got a
comes
champagne
prepared.
bucket.
She's just off her tour with Katt Williams, so she wants to celebrate.
Oh,
okay.
good. Welcome.
Yeah.
Set this up for
Please.
She's brought some food.
Apparently, I'm pressed. That's the way to my heart. Snacks and champagne.
We are ready for you.
All right, we'll
If I
get
can get up in that chair.
You wouldn't be the first or the last. There we go.
Chris will
Like an apple crate or something.
Chris will help you get into that chair.
Hold on.
I will say that you can go to Hey Luenell, which is her YouTube page, if
HeyLuenell.com.
you'd like, and Instagram as well. So just done with the Katt Williams. I've never toured with Katt Williams.
What?
First we're hearing of it.
But I did play a theater the night after Katt Williams played it. And he bonked someone over the head with a microphone. And then he took all the cash and he threw it out the window of the second story,
That's punk
creating a
rock.
riot out in the street.
go.
Is that any experiences like that with Katt on the road?
Not a single one.
Really? He didn't fight
Not
a
a single-
teenager in an MMA throwdown or anything?
Nope.
So he's got his shit together.
Very much together, and so do we.
Oh, that's good. All right. How long was the tour?
9 months.
Damn.
Wow. And just touring the nation? Did you go to Canada? Did you go to Europe?
Nope.
Just kept it
We
in the
just
United
did the
States?
South and the Midwest.
Oh, wow.
We didn't even come to L.A. We didn't even go to the Bay Area. I don't have any influence over where we go. I just collect the motherfucking checks and do my job.
Did when
I wouldn't give a shit if we played the same place every night for 9 months.
did he when I saw him, or I think he had like 7 people opening up for him. Did he
You know,
do
you're
that this
talking
time?
about a Katt Williams that don't exist no more.
Really?
Okay?
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's all in the past.
That's all in the past.
yeah.
Good.
Well, and it seems like just from the news, it seemed like a lot of times like he was cool. People were like trying to step to
You
him
know,
and
it's just
shit
like
would
being
happen.
Mike Tyson, and
Right.
people want to antagonize you when
Right.
you go out. That's why we don't go out. And this tour, we were very secluded because we started it before the mask mandate was off or any of that. So it was very limited who came backstage, and we were just secluded with us, but it was great because it was like a family. We had a young man named Aaron Thompson, who used to be LAPD, quit the force to go on tour.
Oh, shit.
Because he was a comedian that I had also found. And anyway, that happened like that. A young lady named Jen Thomas. Then we have Red Grant, Zoo Man Miller, and the great Mark Curry, myself, and then Katt.
Well, yeah, that is a lot of openers, but you're the feature. You're the main one, right?
Well, no, Katt is the main one.
Well, you're the right. Well, of that group. So, can we talk Borat?
You can talk anything you want to.
Okay. Well, we all love that movie, and your scene is probably scenes are amongst the most famous in the movie. How did the whole thing come about?
Well, first of all, let me say that was an experience I'll never forget. It's the gift that keeps on giving. I have been talking about Borat at least 4 times a week for 15 years now. Every podcast, every interview, you know what I mean?
It's iconic.
It is. I don't know about the others because I didn't really get off into that. That's kind of went, but to be the first, to be the one to do it. And I also want to just remind people that I'm not just Borat's girlfriend. We got married and had 2 interracial little children at the end of that movie that were at our feet. We were supposed to be holding them, but they misbehaved. There's also special features that are only found on the DVD. I've not even been able to find them online that we did that were after the movie, like we reenacted the Baywatch entrance, and everybody had the Baywatch bathing suits on, Ken Davidian included. So there was that horror, and then there was Borat's horror, and then there was me, and I had a surfboard and came. It was there's a lot with that. But having said that, how it came about was just an audition. I got an audition, and at that time I didn't even have a car. My girlfriend drove me to the audition, and they had called for somebody who could improv, and you were supposed to be able to, they want you to tell a story like you're at a fancy dinner party, and you're a hooker, and you're telling, tales from the road, right? And so I just went in there, and they wanted you to dress like a hooker. Well, that was easy for me at the time. And I went to the audition, and I didn't know I was in the room with Sacha, nor did I know I was in the room with Larry Charles. Larry Charles I didn't know. Sacha I knew, but I'd only seen him in the Ali G and all this stuff. So, I'm in there, and I'm just talking and everything like that. And I do know that at the end of what I said, I grabbed Sacha's finger. This was pre-COVID. I grabbed his hand and I sucked his finger. Now, I don't know if that had anything to do with me getting the part, but I'm just saying.
It didn't hurt.
It didn't hurt at all. Well, he's a little bit of a germaphobe, so he was sort of mortified, but I got it.
Did you have any idea what you were signing up for, what it would be?
No, because the first thing that I was saying holy shit about was, I live off Crenshaw and Slauson, and in the email you get a ticket to go to Bucharest, Romania. Mm-hmm. Not my vacation destination spot, but I'm like, Romania, and I didn't even travel with anybody at that time. I don't travel alone anymore. But so here I am flying to Romania by myself, and then, we did stay in like a nice hotel, but the food is very different. Like breakfast buffet has stuff like this.
Like little charcuterie.
Yeah.
Cheese and
yeah,
salami.
shit like that. I'm like, where the grits at? And then we had to go. We didn't stay in Bucharest. We went to this little stinky town, stinky and poor. Like those weren't extras. Those was real village people, the real village people.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's no dentist, nowhere to be found. That was obvious immediately. And there was a stench of animals and people together. You know what I mean?
It's weaponized.
Yeah. You want to separate them.
And they got things like more than money. They got like sugar, and I think they got some computers and some things like that they could really use, and money.
Oh, they brought them that stuff. Mm-hmm. So they could shoot in the village. Mm-hmm. When you watch a movie like that, it's all very funny, but the reality is when you're shooting it, there's not a lot of context for the people you're shooting it with.
None.
And I mean, I've done enough man on the street stuff where it's like, it's all very funny, but when you're insulting the big guy at the hardware store and he's holding a claw hammer, it can get a little dicey. Did it ever feel a little scary, a little dicey?
I think the whole movie is dicey and scary, don't you?
Yes.
To be in it, it's funny to watch, but
it was dicey and scary to do. Like the dinner scene where he called me and I came to dinner. Mm-hmm. Those weren't, racists from Central Casting. Those were successionist people who had never had a black person on their front porch ever. And this was 15 years ago now.
Yeah.
And let alone a black woman dressed the way I was, Calvin Klein jean skirt, motherfucking stilettos, and cowboy hat and a leopard bra and shit, and so when you do it, you have to set up they go to this whatever town and they find out who the bougie people are that host dinner parties for dignitaries and stuff like that. Then they go there and they, massage them into letting us come. We have a dignitary from Kazakhstan, and they want to film in your home. We hear that you do wonderful hosting. They get all excited, and they make vichyssoise and this and that and the other, and that's how they get in the house as we're outside watching in a van. They had stuff like 5-course dinners made for Borat, and he went in there and, tasted some of this lobster biscuit and was like,
just did a spit take.
It's disgusting. I like stuff like these. And pull out like Little Debbie. Fucking.
Was there a part of you in that moment that was like, fuck this, I'm not doing this? Or you were just in the whole time?
That part where they wanted me to knock on them people's front door. That was the part. I said, they're going to shoot me. Excuse me. I said, I'm not wearing a microphone. They said, no, it's mic'd in the house. I said, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And Larry Charles and a little, I think, what's that gold tequila?
Oh, anyway, Cuervo. Cuervo Gold?
Yeah, Cuervo Gold. Couple shots of that, and I did it. Now, when you do this, you can't do a second take with these people.
Right.
You have to go to another whole city and set up another whole family. And we did get the police called on us, and it is very difficult to run down dirt roads in Stiletto Hills.
What kind of direction were you given for that scene? Or are we giving anything to jump off of, or was it just get in there and be yourself? Not yourself, be your character.
It was like, do this.
Yeah.
This is the setup, and this is the beat, and this is what we need from you.
That's great.
Well, because
Yeah.
I talk about committing. I remember when there was some interview with Sacha, and he said, he got so drunk that he passed out, and thank God he woke up drunk, as opposed to like not in character. So I can't imagine how terrifying that would be.
I can't imagine him being drunk because he's a very devout, whatever he is. And he's like, certain type of food kosher. So I guess he's Jewish.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
And so
Drunk on Mogan David.
They even shipped food in for him. So I
He's
can't
strict
imagine
kosher.
him. Yeah, I can't imagine him getting drunk.
Well, that's why he spit out the bisque. You can't have lobster.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point.
Shellfish.
Yeah.
All right, Luenell's here. I want to talk about your career, how you got started, and all the nuts and bolts of your life. First, I'll tell you guys about Hyundai. All right, back with Luenell. I'll give you some dates where she's going to be. Done tons of movies, tons of stand-up. We'll
Can I just interrupt you and say that what a gas it is to be here? First of all, I didn't even know you knew anything about who I was, and you may not have known until, a connection was made or something like that. But so tell me, did you know who I was?
Oh, yeah.
You did?
Sure.
Okay. Okay.
I
Well,
know
then,
comedy.
There
I
goes
know
there
comedians.
goes my shit I was going to talk.
Say no. Say no.
All right, no, I had no idea.
I knew you fucking didn't know who the fuck I was.
Is it
I have
insulting
some?
or is it a compliment to say after the movie we all saw, of course, in the theater? I wasn't sure if it was an actress or like a
I know.
genuine. And that, by the way, I mean that as a compliment. You were incredibly convincing.
No, well, I've done the research. Let's just say that. But here's the thing: I was under a 6-month gag order, right?
Sure.
So I couldn't say nothing to nobody to contradict that I was a hooker. So I would go to like the Polo Lounge and shit, and be like, "That's that girl from the movie. That's that hooker from the movie. That's that prostitute." Right? And I couldn't say I'm not really, because you don't know who anybody is
Right.
in this town. You might be talking to an executive.
Yeah, you're blowing
and
it.
now you don't. No, you done breached a fucking
That's right.
contract. You be sued, so I couldn't stop nobody for like 6 months. I was like,
We have the
was a different
How much
time.
we talking about?
we have the Baywatch scene, by the way, the deleted scene. We will take a quick break. We'll come back with that and much more with Luenell right after this. Luenell's got some dates coming up. Colorado Springs, 3E's Comedy Club. That'll be May 20th and 21st, and then off to Charlotte, North Carolina. The Comedy Zone, May 27th through the 29th. So, Luenell, we were talking about that Baywatch scene that didn't make the film, but it made it onto the box
Special
set, the special track,
Yeah.
which I'd love to see. I think,
Oh.
and there's got to be tons of stuff that doesn't make the cut when you're doing something that's unscripted, for sure. But we'll take a look. We'll take a look at it.
What?
Got 50 cal mounted on the
That was awesome.
I haven't seen that in years. God damn it. The shit I've done.
I guess it is up on the internet somewhere.
Is that what's out on the net?
It must be if we found it, right,
That
Chris?
quickly.
Yep.
So, Luenell, let's talk about you. Where does it all start? Where do you grow up? What's the plan? Is it always comedy? Do you think you're going to be doing something else? How's it start?
Well, I was born in Tollett, Arkansas, which is very, very tiny, very, very rural to this day. And I'm the 8th of 8 children. Wow. But when my mom was pregnant with me, my father got murdered. So, by her brother.
Oh, Jesus.
By your mom's brother.
My uncle killed my father. So then my mom couldn't handle it or whatever, and my dead father's sister and her husband took me and adopted me, which I didn't, I resented that because I'm like, you got 7 fucking kids. Why are you going to give up the last kid that you have with your dead husband? It's stupid. So me and her never really clicked. But
You and your mom.
Me and my birth mother.
Your birth mother.
Yeah, but the aunt that took me, raised me, that was my mother, and her husband, who was not my blood relative, was just related to me.
How old were
for
you when you
marriage.
were handed over?
Like 2 months.
Oh, so an
You have
infant.
no recollection.
What was
Yeah.
the story with your mom's brother and your dad?
It's 60 years ago, and who knows what the truth was.
Did he go to jail? Did he claim
I think he
self-defense?
did, but back then, as like now, black on black crime don't really carry that much.
Records didn't get kept quite so
So
diligently.
yeah. So now you get raised by your mom's sister.
My father's sister.
Oh, your father's sister.
My
deceased
past-
father's
yes,
sister.
my deceased
right.
father's sister in California. So we moved to it's North Oakland, Berkeley area, and then we moved deeper into Oakland. Then we left the community of Oakland and moved to the suburb of Castro Valley, which was all
Stevie.
white.
Yes, it is.
All white. And my parents, I wasn't raised in the ghetto. I choose to live there. But so we lived in new houses. I had swimming lessons, piano lessons, ballet lessons, all that shit, and was educated in Castro Valley and Hayward, California. I went to Cal State Hayward, a Bachelor of Arts degree, English Lit. So
maybe it was a good thing that you got out of Arkansas.
well, out of all bad things, some good things come, and if I had been raised in Arkansas, I'm sure I would have had an okay life, but I'd have probably had a bunch of kids and ain't no telling. I certainly wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. So just as that was a tragedy, it still put me in the trajectory of my life to be exposed to entertainment, plays and theater and stuff, which is actually where I started.
So you're going to college. Are you thinking about a profession, or are you thinking about
No,
show
I'm just
business?
thinking about how to get out. How to get out with a degree. I had already gotten the bug because I went to a play with some friends of mine whose sister was in the play, and it was opening night. So after the play was over, we were able to go up and go across the stage and go to the back to where the party was. Well, there's two things that put me on my path. Going across the stage, I got to see backstage, and I got to see the ropes and the curtains and the wardrobe and
sandbags.
shit.
The infrastructure.
All that, right? And then I went to the party, and people were drinking champagne and taking pictures and eating little finger food and signing the booklet.
playbill.
And I said, well, I don't know what this is, but whatever this is, I want this, right? And then also, I have I never, you watch Oprah for years and shit, and you hear people talk about repressed memory. And I was like, yeah, bullshit. But I had a repressed memory of when I was young and living in Castro Valley. My parents had a type of stereo they used to call a hi-fi. Like you have to turn it on. There's a little red light at the bottom. It warms up, and then you drop the LP or whatever like that, and you listen to your music. So we had, Flip Wilson albums, Red Fox albums, George Carlin.
Jethro Tull, or no?
That's not a comedian.
Oh,
We're talking
you're doing
about
comedy
comedians.
albums. Okay,
You
sorry,
thought you
you're
would
right.
throw me because I'm drinking
You're right.
champagne.
That's right.
But I'm sharp as a tack.
It's a
Don't try
call.
me.
It's a callback. So you're listening to all these comedy albums.
Not just that. When what the part I'm getting to is that when the hi-fi warms up, there's a little red light at the bottom, and I can remember it came back to me that I used to lay on the floor and put my eye up to that red light and go in there in my mind and pretend like I was in a seedy red lit comedy club way back then. So those two things, I guess, shaped what I was going to do, even though I didn't really know what I was going to do.
So when did you do your first stand-up?
In about 19, Bill would know, 90, 89, 92, something like that. It was foggy back then. And my girlfriend, I was living in Long Beach, and my girlfriend, my roommate, was a call girl. She was a beautiful British girl. She was black beauty. She looked like Sade, but taller and thicker, And she talked like this, and she could literally talk the pants off of any man, and she'd get the money. So one of the people that one of her regulars was a comedian. And he used to come, then they started dating off book, you know? And then he would come to the house and, I'd be around there talking my shit. And he said, you're really funny. I host this comedy club here in Long Beach called Miss Wiz. And if you ever want to come down and go on stage, I'll let you on stage the minute you walk in. You don't have to wait or nothing. And I said, I don't want to be no goddamn comedian. I want to sing background for Luther Vandross.
Which is funny. I mean,
it's a good line.
It's a good line. He probably
it was
recognized
possible
that.
back then. My voice has only changed because I've been screaming on stages for 30 years. But anyway, one night, me and the girls were sitting, it's Long Beach, and it's a hot, maybe Thursday night, Friday night probably, and sitting on the patio, and we had made some margaritas and shit. And I, to this day, don't tell jokes. I didn't think of any jokes, but something funny had happened lately, and I thought that it was relatable. And I said, maybe let's go down to this fucking club and see what they're talking about. And so we went down there, me and my girls, and the guy was there, and he said, hey, you want to go up next? I'm like, cool, because I didn't have stage fright, because I had been doing theater. I had been doing theater, so I didn't have no stage fright. So he put me up. I killed. The first time I was ever on stage, and when I got off stage, this man came up to me, told me how funny he thought I was, told me I should come to his club, and that was the late Robin Harris. So I met Robin Harris the first day I ever did stand-up, and then I went to his club, and, you meet young DL and then Jamie and all that, and it just sort of...
Was that downtown or in, like, Crenshaw area or something?
Yeah, that was at the Comedy Act Theater. Michael Williams ran it. Robin Harris was the weekly host, and yeah.
Yeah, I talked to Mike August, who worked with DL. He calls hugely,
right?
But hugely, and Jamie Foxx, and he talked about the club downtown, or I don't know, South Central. I don't know where it was, but Crenshaw area, and it was a hot urban club, and a lot of people got started there.
There's a documentary on Amazon Prime right now called Fat Tuesday, PHAT, not FAT. The comedian Guy Torrey put it together with Reginald Hudlin and stuff, and it tells the story of the black comedy rise in the 80s and the movies and the stuff like that, starting off at the Comedy Act and ending up doing Fat Tuesday up at the Comedy Store.
So the Comedy Act's not there anymore, right?
It's called the Regency West now, but it's still there.
Oh, it is? Okay, it's still a comedy club?
It's a everything club. They have birthday parties there. They have dinners there, graduations there, stuff like that.
Adam, why haven't you performed there?
Well, it was funny because I was thinking about, I performed last night at Vitello's.
Oh.
What?
Yeah.
Italian restaurant, scene of the crime where Robert
That's right.
Blake's gun was found and his wife's brains was blown out in the back.
Yeah.
The very same.
Yeah, he's our OJ. I defend him.
I could have walked there. Was this a private thing?
It's a DGG party.
Yeah, right.
Don't tell Gina. They have a room upstairs now. They have a nice comedy venue.
The Escovedos used to perform up there on like certain nights and stuff. Sheila and her dad.
And the reason I'm reminiscing is because directly across the street from Vitello's is the Two Roads Theater, which is still there. And when I started off all those years ago, after I got booted out of the Groundlings, I went to the Two Road Players. We created the Two Road Players, which was Acme before Acme. It was the Two Road Players, then it became the Zero Family or something, then it became Acme because you would give look. It's like I work for ABC Closets. I work for A&B Carpet Cleaning. I was in Acme. You had to give yourself something to start with an A.
Yeah. So
you had to be first in the Yellow Pages,
right.
or the LA Weekly when they were doing the reviews. You had to be up front. But
is that right, Adam Carolla?
that's right. Thanks, Dad. So when I walked into Vitello's, as I looked across the street, I was like, oh, there's the Two Roads Theater, very small, not a 99-seater, but I had vivid memories of the very early, 1990, 1991.
Not great.
And me and the director meeting at Vitello's before a show night at like 6 o'clock to, carb load before you went out on stage. And then when we're done eating, we would stand in front of Vitello's and give flyers to people that were walking out of Vitello's going, all you have to do is cross the street.
You're going there anyway.
You don't have to get in your car. Just walk across the street. And they're like, yeah, no thanks. And then 4 people would be in the audience. But,
We've all been there.
But we've all been there, right?
We've all been there. But there's beauty in the struggle, though. That's the thing about, I don't want to get on my soapbox about the Insta.
Oh, please do.
Get on that soapbox.
Please, we all need to hear this.
Okay, when this phenomenon first started, I was extremely bitter, not because they were getting attention, but because they were getting attention, money, and shows and deals.
You're talking about all the Instagram and TikTok and all these YouTube stars.
But see, I am old school, and I did come from a Red Fox era and stuff like that, and the only way I know how to really gain followers that are real people is to be in front of real people. Anybody can do anything on Instagram, but translating it to stage is a different animal, and the cockiness of people to think that it's not, it makes me sick. And then they do it, and sometimes it's an epic fail.
Yeah, it must show.
And so I felt some type of way about that, but I said, let me just get the fuck off of their dick about it and, embrace it as they're getting their hustle on. We hustle our way, they hustling their way. Some of those motherfucking little some of them are really talented, but some of even the untalented ones are making enough money to set up their fucking family and their kids and stuff off of this YouTube and Insta stuff. And so, I just earned my money the other way, the older way, just through the regular people.
The oldest
way.
profession, they say. That.
Well,
that
being a prostitute. I've done both, so.
Here's a little thought experiment. Every single time someone has said, you got to see this person has 2 billion downloads, like look at their shit online. Every single time I've looked at it, I've just went, I don't know what the fuck this is. I've never went like, holy shit, I understand why they have 2 kajillion downloads. Right. I've always looked at it and went, really? For this? We'd always talk about the unboxing or the unwrapping things.
Sure.
Hey, Chris, can you find, I'm smiling because we named ourselves Acme Theater so we could be number 1 in the reviews for the what I say was the LA Weekly. You want to be number 1. Yeah. You can find that review somewhere.
But Acme was also the company that Bugs Bunny and them used for every single thing. Right. That's why I was laughing.
The Anvil Company.
Acme. That's why I was laughing. Like, oh, good old Acme.
So here's the question, Luenell. Every comedian I speak to, and it doesn't have to be this way for you, every single comedian I ever talk to, they go, the first time I got up on stage, they either go, I blew a dick or I crushed it. But if the ones who say I crushed it the first time, they always say, then I went back the next night and blew. Just died up there. But you didn't have that. You crushed it the first night and the second night.
And kept crushing it.
And you kept crushing it.
Still.
Well, that's good. And to this day,
but I'm not saying that I haven't had my ups and downs. Every show is different. Some shows you're on fire, and other shows you just got by. But I've never been booed in my entire career. Everybody thinks that everybody's gotten booed. I've never been booed. I have got the crickets, though.
It's worse.
But you got out of the gate with your first time, and you crushed it, and then you kind of kept from that day forth. So it was a pretty easy decision for you to go into stand-up?
All I had to do was talk and be myself. I don't write out shit like, I'm not a scripted comic. It's just like with singing. You can teach somebody to sing, but you can't teach somebody to sing. That's in you. So you can teach somebody to be a comic, but you can't teach them to be a great one. And I strive to be great. And great people have some shit that's in them that it just turns on. We can just do it, I can make people laugh down on Imperial and Inglewood, and I can make people laugh on Wilshire and Beverly Hills. It doesn't make any difference. It's a gift. I've given it up. It belongs to God. Because what I do is a gift. Because sometimes I be drunk and I can still do it.
As they say, it's in you, but not of you.
That's right.
Chris found a LA Times review. Well, it's got to be a horrible review. So if this is horrible, it'll do.
Are you reading a horror review about me?
About himself.
Well, it's about the Acme
Right.
improv troupe, but I still think it must have been from the LA Weekly. But is
How
LA
old- how old
This is
is this
LAtimes.com
He's
Oh.
obviously
Is it horrible?
not over
from
it.
1992.
He's not over it.
Give me the first line, and I'll tell you if it's the bad one.
Well, I got to give you the overview because the first line is name a comedy group that. Stage review, hopeful signs. The Acme Players aren't the hottest Saturday night comedy ticket in LA, but the ensemble remains a sharply pitched, character-driven unit.
Oh, that's a good one. We don't need that. We got to find the bad one. That's where all the comedy is, in the bad. All right, let me tell you about Bonner Wines, a new sponsor. If you enjoy wine, and I think I can speak safely for all of us here, we do, you need to try some extreme altitude Malbec from Argentina, made from remote vineyards at 9,000 feet. That's right, miles from civilization, resulting in an inky red wine, healthier than other wines with 10 times more longevity, boosting resveratrol.
Yeah, dude.
And 90% less sugar. Well, count me in. No dyes, no flavor additives. Hints of blackberry, leather smoke, and a little dark cherry.
Hey, resveratrol.
There it is. Best part. You're not paying inflated prices of the traditional big box wine. There's no middleman. So go to BonnerPrivateWines.com/Adam. My listeners get 50% off the wine and 50% off the shipping. Just visit BonnerPrivateWines.com/Adam and try out this wonderful revolutionary wine. BonnerPrivateWines.com/Adam. All right, Chris.
Can you give me some of that?
Yeah, we'll go
I'm
see if
sure
we
we can
have
work
some
that
back
out.
there.
I want to try that.
Chris, you can still look.
Yeah, we're looking.
It's around. We've definitely
I believe you.
read
I'm
it
just
before.
having trouble finding
It's
it.
He's
wildly.
not over it. Girl.
It's so.
Let it go,
It's
Adam.
so insulting. That's why I want to read
Good
it.
content.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back with Luenell. She's going to hang in. We'll do the news right after this. And this through Luenell. I need a little.
Yeah, she'll
Little
top you off.
freshening up on my
She'll top you off,
champagne.
no
I got
problem.
You. I got you, baby.
And yes, that was that was the first time I was naked on stage, which was
Oh,
hair.
you did hair?
Yeah, and I sang Frank Mills.
Awesome,
Yeah,
girl.
thank you.
Oh,
Yeah, I love your theater background. I have the same.
I love that. I know about hair, honey.
Oh, you would have been fabulous in it.
I wanted to be in Little Shop of Horrors, actually.
That's the dream.
But I lost the role because the director said I pulled focus.
That's,
And that
that's
the
a
three
compliment.
girls are supposed to be a unit.
That's right.
And I'm like, well, okay, sucks to be you.
So you were the Jennifer Holliday of the group.
You would say.
You were the dream girl. Okay. All right. So this just in, I literally just grabbed this about 5 minutes ago. Do you remember that horrific condo collapse in Florida? Okay,
Yes.
so they just came to a settlement, and the settlement is $1 billion. It was a surprise development, this class action litigation over that collapse at Champlain Towers South. That's been settled. The federal judge said Wednesday, as we record this, with plaintiffs expected to receive just under $1 billion, $195 million if we're being accurate. The comprehensive settlement announced in the Miami-Dade Circuit Court Judge Michael Hansman's courtroom effectively closes the litigation phase of the case. It's done. Still to be announced, though, is the share each victim or survivor will receive. That's right. 98
That's what
people.
I was about to ask.
Yep.
Between how many people, right?
98 people were killed, so now we're talking families, we're talking estate,
yeah.
we're talking all that. But they did want this case resolved before the 1 year anniversary. That would have been June 24th, and it is done.
Well,
So
they're
it's a
going to get about
billion.
$275,000 a piece.
Yeah, I'm wondering how that. Yeah, and who?
Just
Well, it's
saying.
$1 billion whacked up 98 ways.
Yeah.
Well, is it though? It
No,
depends.
more than
And then
that.
the attorney's fees and
Well,
insurance and.
yeah, you would take that on contingency if you're an attorney.
Oh, I think so.
I think
And-
that they should have rounded it off to the billion.
That'd be nice.
Instead of 195,000. That's being petty.
And they get 40 to 50%, the attorneys. I mean, those are the ones who really make out.
I said they're going to end up with $225,000. That's going to.
Yeah.
And then there's all the costs. It's not just the percentage.
The court fees?
All the filings and
Right.
all the experts and also the way they work is they take 40%, maybe 50% the attorneys, but you also have to pay all the experts, all the investigators, all the filing
Sounds like
stuff.
$275,000 to
Yeah.
me.
So seriously, so we're talking they will end up splitting 375.
Well, look, it's not worth it if you were crushed in the building.
Right.
But if that was your uncle who molested you and he's dead, then you could hammer that check
sure.
for $375.
Sure. All right, so I'll keep up on that and see what we can find out as that becomes available. Mario Batali, boy, that came and went.
Is he back in the news?
Yeah, he's been cleared of sexual misconduct
Good.
following a criminal trial in Boston.
I can go back to Mosa?
That's right.
Yeah.
Go back to Italy.
I didn't want to think that. I did not believe that.
Well, I can't wait to tell you what the judge said about it. But just in case you need a little refresher, a woman accused Batali of forcibly kissing her and groping her while she was trying to take a selfie with him at a restaurant in 2017. He was charged with indecent assault and battery. The accuser
An
said,
Italian chef, right?
"Yeah,
Big
Can't he
redheaded.
be grandfathered in like Indians can take peyote? You know what I mean? Like it's a cultural thing.
so Cuomo, Batali,
Really?
He's a
Adam,
fat Italian
really?
chef. He's not allowed to get a little grabby with a patron
Adam,
after a glass of
Do
wine.
you really want this smoke? Do you really
Oh
want this?
yes, more than
Yes,
anything.
he's an Italian. He's a fat
I
Italian.
don't give nobody no motherfucking pass to grope nobody. Are you out
What
of your
about a
goddamn
cultural pass?
Fucking mind? Hell no. Does that? What
All
the
right,
fuck
well then
does
Snoop
that
Dogg
mean?
can't smoke
Does
pot in the green room then.
Yes, he can.
So how
and
do you
he
like
does.
it? How do you like it now?
That's not the same
It's
thing.
a cultural pass.
That's not the same thing.
So
We're
it's
talking about
exactly
touching
the
on
same
somebody.
thing.
We're talking about touching on somebody.
He took a selfie with a chick.
So if we're going to take pictures after this, right?
That's
so
right. I get
culturally,
a
if I
cultural-
grab your dick, you ain't got shit to say, right?
no, not
right.
if everyone
okay.
laughs.
All right,
okay.
then. Okay.
All right.
Watch later, people. Wait for the post.
Good luck finding my
Culturally,
dick.
I grab dicks and shit. So.
All right. Well, I do
Yeah,
my
good
own
luck
thing.
to
So
you.
it's going to be a
That-
She's a
surprise.
different audience.
What thing do you
I'm
do?
Italian. I get to do what I do.
Well, I'm going to let you, though. That's the
All
thing
right.
about me. Grope me. You can't rape the willy.
I can't wait to see the game of chicken after the show. So this is what she said he did. She said his hands were all over my breasts, my rear end, between my legs. Batali's lawyer argued that the Boston assault never happened. Said that the accuser was just had an incentive, financial incentive to lie. The judge found him not guilty on Tuesday. He wanted to do a judge trial, not a jury trial, saying Batali's conduct was, quote, not befitting of a public person of his stature, but the accuser had significant credibility issues that supported the defendant's contention that this was for financial gain.
She was a hoe.
That's right. Mm-hmm. That's what
See?
you're saying.
You can say that. You get a cultural pass. I can't say that. See how it works?
Yeah, now you say it.
She was a hoe?
How dare you speak of this
See?
woman this way?
See?
What's wrong with you?
That's not me saying that.
That's a cultural pass.
Yeah, I wanted to show the difference.
He has a little bit of a Weinstein look.
Yeah.
You know, kind of big bucket head.
Yeah.
And shaved in
And
a while.
Very red.
And
And-
I think he
Very
kind of,
red.
he's not helping his cause. When you look the part, that's
You see
part of
how
the
red
issue.
he is?
Yes,
Yeah.
he's too red.
He
You
has-
know who you look like? Rhymes with rump.
oh, yeah.
Oh, it looks like Trump. Yeah.
Yeah, he does. And he's
See,
wearing
I
about...
can't say that cultural pass.
Zip up hoodie underneath.
It's a bizarre look.
Underneath the pinstripe suit.
Yeah, he's got
curious.
5 layers under the zoot suit.
Fucking gross.
No hair on
He's
top.
done with sex. Look at that.
Yeah.
He's through. Nothing but prostitutes. Who would willingly sleep with him? You know he ain't got no dick.
Well, maybe
Look
your
at that. Mario, come on.
maybe your old roommate would give him a
For a
go now.
price. Now, if we talking money, I'd break him out some. But
If
we got to
she-
be talking.
Is she still in the business or?
No, I said she's happily married.
Oh,
It's not a yes or a no.
till they listen to this. All right, sorry.
So
Yeah, he
there we
looks the
go.
part.
Yeah, yeah.
It is true. We do that.
Poor mom.
I don't know. Who was the actor who played John Boy Walton?
That's digging too deep for me, man.
You will know this.
Richard Thomas.
Richard Thomas.
That's right, with the birthmark on his
You
cheek.
show me a picture of John Boy Walton from the Walton. So what it means is
a bird
when you
mark on
see
his
that
cheek.
guy, you go, he didn't do anything. He didn't rape anyone. Look at him. But when you look at Mario, you go, oh yeah.
Yeah,
Look
he's the
at-
type.
John Boy, the most innocent guy picture that you thought of when you thought of like the opposite of Mario.
That's all I could come up with. It's John Boy Walton.
An Opie.
I was
Richard
going to say
Thomas.
the same thing. A young
You don't get
Ron
more
Howard.
milk toast than Opie.
That's right, Winthrop.
No. All right,
right.
we'll find a picture.
James Cromwell in the news. We
actor?
know, yes, we know him from everything, from 6
Babe.
Feet Under,
Babe.
from Babe, from Succession. I mean, he's in everything. And now
He played George H.W. Bush in the movie W.
Daddy.
Oh wow. So yeah, you know the name, you love the actor, but do we love the protester? He was in Starbucks in New York on Tuesday and super glued his own hand to the counter at Starbucks to protest the vegan milk upcharge
James.
with the PETA people that accompany
There
him.
was the chick who tried to glue herself to the basketball court.
Yep.
There should be a new rule, which is if you super glue yourself to something
Stay
and
there.
interrupt the
Stay
process, then people who you're interrupting get to take a leak on you.
Okay, that's fair.
Would you sign off on that, Luenell?
I think that's a little drastic.
That's a little much.
Yeah, just
All right, just the fellas then. Just the fellas.
If you glue yourself to somewhere, just you have to stay there. Like
Yeah.
nobody can rescue
Yeah.
you. You can't.
Oh, we're not cutting you out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he
that's on
was
you.
he glued himself because of oat milk
because
or
he was
something?
protesting the upcharge to oat milk.
That's very pouty.
This is interesting.
That's
It's a
very
dollar
white
more.
thing to do.
Because, and he's wearing a shirt that says "Free the Animals." He's done this
Free the fucking animals.
many times. By the way, he's been arrested multiple times. He was charged with disorderly conduct
Yeah.
at Texas A&M for their use of dogs in medical research. He
shit.
protested at SeaWorld, so now he's in New York. And they don't even. I mean, they talk a little bit about the cows, but a big thing they focus on, and you'll hear him, is that some people like me, but he didn't need to speak for me. Lactose intolerant, and why am I being punished with an extra 15 cents for my almond milk?
Because you got a problem.
That's exactly right. But he says it's cultural and it's racist and it's socioeconomicist.
Well, I mean,
So-
it's sort of, I don't know.
Well,
It's kind of like,
it's
let
racist.
James explain.
I
Here we
want to picture Richard Thomas, God damn it.
go. Okay, well,
We'll
play
let him
this.
explain first.
Womp, womp,
Well,
womp.
let me just tell you what he says since I already watched it. It's basically there are wide swaths of cultures like Asians, and I think he may say
more.
African Americans. I'm not sure, but I
Did
definitely
he
remember
say it
Asians.
like that? I don't know if he said it like that.
That as a culture don't digest milk well. And he didn't
Oh,
even
fuck would
he
he
didn't
know?
even bother talking about the Jews, and that they're being persecuted because it should be free, the almond milk and the oat
God.
milk. And so then the cops come in and then they start trying to get everyone out of there. James is still glued to the counter, and so
Good.
before he gets arrested, he gets like a little like X-Acto knife out and cuts himself out. Oh, here we go.
All right, we'll play it.
Little juice.
Or will we?
To be committed to inclusion and diversity, but it still discriminates against those who can't have dairy. The exorbitant fee disproportionately affects people of color who have a much higher rate of lactose intolerance. Up to 95% of Asian Americans and 80% of Native and African Americans cannot digest cow's milk. Starbucks makes them pay more. Stop this.
Save the planet, save the cows! And the vegan upcharge
Oh, there's a whole team.
Oh, it's got
Yeah.
a team there.
Save the cows!
And the vegan upcharge now.
Oh, Lord. What city is this in?
New York.
Save the planet,
All right.
save the cows!
So
I'd like to
this-
show this to the good people from the Ukraine and go, see, we
We have real
You
problems.
think you have problems?
Yeah.
We got serious issues with oat milk
What
and
about
18-cent
the
upcharges.
homeless situation?
Yeah.
Somebody should fucking take a fire extinguisher and just spray that douche down. Fuck him. We're too
almond
free.
milk.
This is not a
He's
problem.
outraged.
Yeah.
He's such a
About
fucking
what, like
asshole.
a 40-cent upcharge or some shit?
Look, here's the deal. It's your fucking problem.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to process cow's milk, that's on your fucking flora and fauna. That's on your gut, douche.
Unwilling.
Well, it's like saying, I got a bad back, so I can't fly coach. Well, I got to fly first class. Well, who's going to pay for it?
No.
You are, dude.
You better find another $700
There's something wrong with your fucking back.
I totally agree. And I was listening to this thing about when the Florida judge, demasked the mask rule, and the two women that started it said that they were protesting because they have anxiety when they wear a mask. I'm like, well, then take the fucking bus.
And who has? There's no God-given right to a cappuccino.
That's right.
There's just shit.
I'm putting that on a T-shirt.
Some people are allergic to shellfish. They can't fucking eat shrimp cocktails. Like that's
Very sad.
That's how
Move
it
on.
works. That's how
right.
life works.
That's right.
That's how it works.
This just coming in this very moment. Andy Dick's been in the news a little bit lately, and he's back again. According to the Hollywood Reporter, which is literally coming in as we speak, he's been arrested on suspicion of felony sexual battery following an incident in Orange County, but not just Orange County. I'm just going to read you right from Hollywood Reporter. The Sheriff's Department spokesman confirmed that the law enforcement authorities were called at 9 a.m. to a campground in O'Neill Regional Park in Trabuco Canyon after a man alleged he was sexually assaulted.
By
And
Andy
tried
Dick.
to rape somebody in the bushes.
The suspect was
So it sounds like.
56-year-old
Jesus.
actor and comedian Andy Dick. He was arrested on suspicion of felony sexual battery. The reporting party was taken to a hospital for examination. The incident was live streamed on Captain Content's RV YouTube channel. And last time we talked about Andy, they were kind of in a tug of war with him with like two YouTube streamers.
He's basically, so here's what's happening to Andy Dick.
Break it
Andy
down.
Dick is going down the road of
George Michael.
Anna Nicole Smith.
Oh boy.
Remember, she was a fucking mess in a shit show. And look at her. She's stumbling
Yeah,
around.
punchline.
She's slurring
Yeah.
her words. She
She's
passed
such a
out
mess.
George
in a
Michael
casino.
was in them parks looking for boys. And
I'm not going the gay route. I'm going the shit show
didn't the
route.
motherfucker just say? Didn't it just say?
It
Okay.
did.
That's true.
It did.
No, it did. It's a, but okay, George Michael, Anna Nicole Smith, anyone with three names. So,
George Michael. is
or
only
two first
names.
George
names.
Michael Bluth?
Two first names or three names.
Okay.
All right. The point is this. He's going to OD.
Andy Dick.
Andy Dick. Yeah, two
Right.
first names. He's going to OD and he's going to die. But right now, it's a joke.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what we do. We go, look at this guy. Look what happened to
He's
this person. Look
crazy.
at her. She's nuts.
No,
Look
if
at her.
he
Whatever.
was gonna OD, he would have already done it. He's been down that real bad drug road.
But how
he's-
much longer can he sustain this?
Well, he's just a perv. I mean, Jesus, that's what it is. He's a pervert.
Have
Look
you
at me.
met
I'm
him
a
on the
drug
road,
addict.
or-
Ho, ho, ho.
No, I've been around him somewhere, some game show or something like that. You know, I think I hugged him too. He needs a hug.
He
for
try to have
sure.
sex with you?
Please, I'm heterosexual.
Well, he can be.
Well,
For a price.
that's bisexual.
Yeah.
He's pliable.
I know, but
Yeah.
you catch him on the right day.
No, I don't need to catch him at all. I'd rather catch a cold.
Well said. Isn't he affianced to a lovely lady right now as we speak?
Again.
He's
think
always
so.
with a hot chick.
Yeah.
Which is very
Yeah, he's
frustrating.
always with a hot chick.
Yeah.
Swinger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with
But he
that.
like what he likes. Shit, I ain't mad.
Well, an airplane. This is crazy. So we've had a lot of horror in the skies, crazy
Jesus.
airplane shit. This is heroic. This you're gonna like. This airplane passenger with no flying experience safely landed a Cessna yesterday at Palm Beach International Airport after the pilot
Pass out.
something. Yeah, had a medical event and was
Sheesh.
incapacitated. So the man who was the only passenger, this is a
Fentanyl.
movie, on this 12-seat plane, radioed air traffic control.
Hold on. Where's
Yeah.
Richard Thomas?
See?
We're
See
not done
how
with
men
this.
do? See?
Yeah.
I'm not listening to you.
No. Oh, that guy.
Yeah, he would never rape anyone.
Oh, no. He's a very
That's
open-faced
John
boy.
Boy.
That's John Boy.
We love John
Whatever
Boy.
happened to him?
With
He
the
looks-
birthmark on his face.
That's
with
right.
the little hair birthmark on his face.
Serving 20 years for rape.
Oh,
Did
boy.
did a bunch of TV movies
Is
or
that
something,
right?
and then
No.
did TV movies and then
You're about
got
to break
into
my heart.
directing or something.
Got it.
All right, sorry.
Yeah, what a
There we
pure
go.
boy. So I have the audio of the dude taking over the
All right.
radio and air traffic
yeah.
control trying to talk him down. It's obviously not crystal clear audio, so please do your best to listen, and then I'll tell you what happened after.
I've got a serious situation here. My pilot has gone incoherent. I have no idea how 333 Lima Delta, Roger. What's your position? I have no idea. I can see the coast of Florida in front
no
of me,
idea.
and I have no idea. Number 3 Lima Delta, no problem. Just continue to stay wings level, maintain 5,000, and follow the coast, and we're going to try to find you here on the radar.
I have no fucking idea what that means.
What the fuck? 5,000 what?
Stay at like 5,000 feet, I guess, and then just watch the guy. So the controller just happened to also be a flight instructor, so he was able to keep everybody calm. They found the plane on the radar. He was able to walk him step by step until they safely landed on the runway.
Praise God.
Yes, the pilot was taken to the hospital, his condition unknown, but the passenger and the air traffic controller did meet, gave a hug. FAA is trying to figure out what the hell happened.
Jesus.
Well,
that's a made-for-TV movie.
we talked about Mad, Mad, Mad World, the movie with all
I
the
love
big
that's one of my
celebrities.
favorite movies.
I knew you'd love it.
I've
That's why I
probably
brought
seen it
up.
500 times.
Well,
What's his name?
Jim Backus was the pilot,
No, the
and
one
he
that
passed
was
out.
like, Mama, I'm coming to get you, Mama.
That's
it was Anthony
Dick
Newley.
Shawn.
Dick Shawn.
Or Dick Gregory. Now, I can always screw it up.
Not Dick Gregory.
No. See, that's a cultural thing. Dick Shawn.
Yeah, Dick Shawn. The whole cast. Like, that's one of my favorite movies that I would love to see redone.
You're right.
Yeah.
But they could never get that many huge legendary
Oh, yes, they
stars
could.
in a
Gary,
movie.
Gary
Yes, they
Marshall
could.
packs him into his
they
holiday
could.
movies.
They could do it.
Mhm.
They
They
could
could
do
do
it.
it.
Hell, Will Packer did it.
Which part would you play? Would you like to be in it?
Yeah.
Ethel
I would probably,
Merman.
Yeah.
You could be Ethel Merman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Harry, or whoever his name was, she was hollering at him all the time.
Yeah, she had
Yeah.
a son.
I
She was
love
screaming at him the
Yeah,
whole
that
time.
was his. She was his mother. She
Yes.
was his mother.
Ethel Merman was either Dick Gautier or Dick Shawn.
Dick Shawn's mother.
Dick Shawn's mother.
Yes.
Yes. And Jim Backus was the pilot
Yes.
with, Mickey Rooney and Buddy Hackett. And he passed out
Yeah.
on the plane, and
Right.
they had to fly the plane.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Dick,
One of the greatest movies of all time.
Thurston Howell the third was the pilot. We've talked about this before. He got drunk.
This comes up more than once.
He passed out. So this happens.
Yeah, it does.
This is life imitating art.
That's exactly
In
right.
this case.
Richard Thomas' first movie role, 1969, Winning, with Paul Newman.
Really?
Wow.
Look at you.
Nice.
By the way, I'm so glad you said Buddy Hackett because
Winning or raping? Sorry, guys.
Original title, Winning.
Original.
I have been forcing my husband to fall asleep every night to like Dateline because I'm like an inner 75-year-old woman. And they buried the lead. I get it. It was a gruesome death. It never should have happened. The girl was decapitated. It's horrible. But the lieutenant or the main investigator, they're like, says Investigator Hackett, who sounds just like Buddy Hackett, has the last name Hackett, and it's never like, yes, that Hackett. Anyway, it never came up, and it bumped me. I couldn't follow the story after that because it was obviously like his nephew.
Is it?
Anyway, yes, of course it was. He sounded and he looked just like him, and it was like Lieutenant Hackett, and nobody would say anything about it.
Well,
You
let me
gotta say
ask you
something.
this. I'm sorry. Let me ask you this. On one of the greatest shows ever to hit television, Cheaters.
That's right.
One of the hosts at one point was named Clark Gable Jr. And and he was fantastic looking. Clark Gable Jr. And I never confirmed whether he was the real Clark Gable's son or not, but then I think he overdosed and died. Beautiful motherfucker, man. He looked like Clark Gable. Can you Google that, anybody?
I'd like to see that.
We'll see
They're on it.
if we can.
Cheaters.
We'll put our
Cheaters,
people
honey.
on it.
Wait,
Let's-
what? Real quick,
yeah.
I have to, on that, did I ever tell you guys that I coached Gregory Peck's grandson and Angela Lansbury's grandson?
Now we're
Really?
talking.
Westlake?
Jessica Fletcher.
Yeah, they were on the team.
Legendary.
That's fabulous.
And at Harvard,
Harvard Westlake.
Westlake
right
High
in
School.
Coldwater.
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry.
my
but-
God.
So let's talk about another beautiful man.
Yes, but it was Clark Gable the third.
The third. Okay, so it's his son's son. It's
Yeah.
his grandson.
Good.
Okay, but he was a beautiful
Oh
man.
my.
You
handsome
see,
fella.
beautiful.
Dashing. And he hosted Cheaters.
Cheaters. Beautiful ass.
Well, I know you're going to have an opinion about this next gentleman, Luenell, so please don't hold back. On the same day, Grey's Anatomy actor Jesse Williams received a Tony Award nomination for his Broadway debut. Nude footage of him has surfaced online. So Monday, the 40-year-old received this nomination for Best Performance by a featured actor in a play called Take Me Out, which has now been
Or
running.
he's naked.
Yeah.
He's got a big dick.
I was there. That's right.
But I haven't seen it. Do you have the picture?
Well, I have the pixelated picture because
I know
I'm
the
a
boys
lady.
don't want to see. But
They do.
I'll take a pixelated picture.
So it's about a Major
me
League
see.
Baseball player who comes out as gay.
I want to see it.
And you're supposed to lock your phone up when you go to the show. You put it in one of those little cases.
Yeah.
Well, somebody snuck their phone in.
Okay, I wanna
And-
see.
Yeah, put it up.
Let me see.
Took a little
Where's my glasses?
snapshot. And there's a shower scene. This
Oh,
is
my.
not. This is not, Chippendales. This is Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
The Great White Way.
Hallelujah.
I saw the stream in
The
front
great-
before I saw the stream in back, and I thought he was peeing.
No.
Jesse.
But look how much pixelation is on that. They really greeked it.
Yeah.
So they snap the picture. Everybody's going crazy. Williamson he's a fit man.
Yeah.
And he's a very serious actor, too. Like, he's pissed that this shit is
Oh,
taken-
absolutely. And this is a great show, by the way.
there, you know,
Wow.
it
The theater
strikes
is
me
pissed.
that in the Dave Chappelle incident, they bagged the phones, but somebody had a burner phone out and took
of
some of the
course.
original shots or footage of the attack on stage. So
You know,
this,
I performed at the Bowl on its first night, that Thursday night.
oh, you did
Yeah.
How was it?
on Chappelle. Chappelle did what? 5 nights? How many nights?
He did
he do?
4.
Four
at
nights.
the Bowl.
Wow.
Sold out, 17,000 seats.
Jesus, was it
It's on
awesome?
my Instagram.
Was it amazing?
Yeah, because you don't think of the Bowl in a comedy sense. You don't even think to hope to play the Bowl. I went there to see Stevie Wonder and Earth, Wind, and Fire and Hall & Oates or some shit. You
lot of
don't think
range.
about comedy.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't even dream that. And so for that to happen, I was like, he's producing my Netflix special, by the way.
What's that? Sorry.
Dave Chappelle is producing my Netflix
Oh, he's
special.
producing it. When is that? When can we look forward to seeing that?
Not for a while. I'll let you know.
Yeah,
Please.
come
You
have to
back,
come back
please,
for
yeah.
that.
Yeah, come back.
By the way, do you know that Dave Chappelle's show at the Bowl isn't going to be part of the Netflix as a joke special?
No.
Because they already said it wasn't, but so it's not because the dude bum rushed the stage,
Right.
but he has a separate deal with his
Right.
own people, so
Wow.
we're not gonna. I don't know. He'll see if we see
And,
that.
You won't miss it. There's so much other stuff to watch
Right.
that's going to be amazing, and then this will drop, and you'll watch that, and it'll be amazing too.
Right.
'Cause it
in
was.
a battle of venue sizes, I did Netflix as a joke in the belly room of the Comedy Store last week. So it wasn't quite 17.5. It was more like
17 and a half people.
61 people, but I literally graced the smallest stage in the entire series of
But
Netflix
that's a
as
very
a joke.
important stage, nonetheless.
I made it less important after gracing it.
I did the Improv. I had a night at the Improv. May 3rd was my night sold out.
Oh, sold out.
Oh, no.
Melrose.
It's not hard to
Melrose
sell out. It's
Improv.
150 seats or some shit like that.
But give yourself some credit. I mean, you just got done selling out the Hollywood Bowl, so obviously it's a
I
step
didn't
down.
sell it out.
Well,
I
I
was,
think Dave really could have sold 17.5 without you.
On his own,
I don't think so.
please.
nobody knew who was going to be on the show. You never know who's going to be on the Chappelle
Oh,
show.
that's true.
You never know.
Yeah.
You don't know who the musical guests are. You don't know anything like that.
So the fact that now they're bagging the phones, but people are still showing up with burner
hide it in your
phones
sock
or
or-
How many of
whatever.
us? I have like 4 or 5 old phones that are just in a box, like because I've grown out of them or they're old or whatever.
I guess. So I feel very conflicted about this because do I want to see Jesse Williams' dick?
I don't want to see nobody's dick at the play. I don't.
Oh, okay.
No, if I want to go to a porn play, but if I'm on Broadway and I want to see theater, I don't need to see nobody dick.
But I was in Hair. I saw everybody's dick.
Well, I know. That's right.
Did
Yeah,
you
so it
did you
just
ever watch Puppetry of the Penis, Luenell?
Oh, it's great.
Sorry.
They make it look like a sailboat and a hamburger.
Well, I remember when Woody Allen did something, and he had big giant dicks with sperms inside.
That was
something
everything you
like
want to
that.
know about sex,
Yeah.
but we're afraid to ask or something like
yeah,
that.
something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
But the theater.
I'm old.
I know with the Mad World being your favorite comedy, that's old.
Well, I am very conflicted about this next story. I don't feel great about it. Dolly Parton, who, by the way, was just inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame against her will. Exactly. She tried to get off the ballot. They said, too late. We already sent out the invitations. She is set to star in a satirical musical about the efforts to get the Mexican pizza back on Taco Bell's menu.
What?
It's called Mexican Pizza the Musical. We have a picture. It's set to release on May 26th, and it's going to be on TikTok.
Well.
Doja Cat, who made that announcement that I got the Mexican pizza back at Coachella.
Well,
bunch
I
of
do
people.
love the Mexican pizza.
Well, it's fucking
but
great.
They don't have the green onions on it anymore, and that really hurts me.
Oh, well, that could be a good ballad.
They used to have a tostada back in the day.
Oh, did they? I love that thing.
I miss it like I miss the Bell Beefer.
Yeah,
man.
I miss the tostada more than the Mexican pizza.
Yeah, I miss the tostada.
Yeah.
Why don't we do it like old school Mondays or something where you just get the fucking tostada happening and all
85 cents.
Also, don't tell me you don't have the technology. It's literally a flat taco shell.
Right,
it's got your beans, it's got your lettuce, it's got your cheese, it's all the tomatoes. It's all the shit you got in the hopper already. Just flatten out the shell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
The biggest expense is the box. You have to get the flat, weird box.
Right, like the mini personal pizza box.
And the goddamn Bell Beefer. Bring it all back.
Do you remember that?
Beefer, I used to fuck those up. Yeah.
Fuck the shit out of those Bell Beefers.
Damn, I used to smash those motherfuckers.
You do anything weird with a churro?
I don't like churros.
Oh, okay.
I'm not into sweets.
Understood.
You're savory.
Yeah, I'm a savory type
too.
of girl. I get all my sugar from liquor.
That's right.
But the Bell Beefer, man.
Was it like a manwich? That's how I think of it.
It was a flour tortilla with the meat inside.
No,
right?
it was a hamburger bun.
The Bell Beefer?
Yeah.
That's a sloppy Joe.
It's a sloppy Joe minus the slop.
Minus
sloppy
the slop?
Jose.
Yeah, sloppy Jose.
You can find us a picture of a Bell Beefer. It was a hamburger bun with the crushed up beef and then the cheese and everything was the same shit. It was just the shell of the
you
bun.
want to bring that back?
I do.
Loose
well,
meat.
moments ago, I was your hero. What happened? What happened to us? You love the Bell Beefer.
No, I'm thinking about it was the flour tortilla. They put the cheese, they put the meat, and they fold it like that. And that was a little taco something.
Oh, you're thinking
too.
like the quesadilla something.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, that looks like a manwich.
It wasn't a quesadilla though, but it was something else.
Yeah, that does look pretty.
All right, why don't we just agree on the tostada?
Yes.
Oh, totally.
We could bring
Across
back the
board.
tostada.
Bring back the tostada.
Mm-hmm.
I think Luenell might be talking about the Mexi Melt.
Oh,
Yeah.
you said
The
it.
Mexi
You made
Melt
my
is gone
toes
as
turn.
well, but yeah.
Yes, the Mexi motherfucking melt.
Is that no
get that
longer
back.
available?
No.
Well, now I got to see a
They
Mexi
took
melt.
Mexi melt, baby.
You can't create all these wonderful offerings and then
And then take
remove
'em
them.
back, yeah.
Then I have to have these conversations
You know,
about
that's
what
a
it used to be like with my
Cracker Jack
kids.
research team you've got over there.
Yeah, the Mexi
To
melt.
find my Mexi melt.
Oh, it's all
honey.
chalupas and gorditas and shit.
Yeah. Fried,
No, thanks.
fried flatbread or whatever.
And
Look
can
at
we make a
that.
rule
Yeah.
that Taco Bell should just never try dessert ever again?
Yeah.
Like you
we can
taking
make
broken taco shells and putting cinnamon and
Yeah.
sugar on them. That's not fucking dessert.
Yeah, that's
Apple
low end.
pie's dessert.
Yeah.
You don't do dessert. Fine.
Yeah.
They don't
back.
even have a little flan or nothing like that.
No.
Surprising.
No.
But you know what? Flan, no bueno.
Still, that feels like
It
something you should
doesn't
have.
travel
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
It's all right, but would you ever accept essentially yogurt for dessert
No.
with some honey
Little
on
caramel
it? 'Cause
on
that's,
top.
Diet.
That's what it
It's
is.
a custard.
It's no.
It's a
it's no good.
jiggly
Look,
custard.
We got we got pie,
Yeah.
and then we got. If you don't want pie, you can go
Chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake, or you can add the a la mode,
Yeah.
and now we're covered.
We're done.
done.
Yeah.
You don't need to do your own.
What,
Keep it simple,
what
right?
restaurant
right.
does the pizookie, which is like the pizza
Oh
cookie?
no, my
That's
daughter
BJ's.
Oh, really?
at BJ.
BJ.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
I
yes,
just
yes,
know
yes.
it's called a pizookie.
Pizookie. It's a pan of cookie.
Yeah.
With more caramel and whipped cream
That's
and
right.
all this kind of shit.
That's right.
It's a heart attack in a skillet.
Yes, there's that, and at one time, I don't know
But
if they still
it's
have it.
good.
Hooters had the patachos, which were nachos made with potato chips.
I might have
Because-
had
Now
that.
I know the
They brought it-
pizookie
I
because
might have had that.
they keep running that commercial. You see the Pizookie commercial?
Not recently.
Oh, it's hot.
I hate that they call it a Pizookie. It's a Pizookie. It's a pizza cookie.
Oh, maybe I just called it a
No,
Pizookie.
everyone does call it the Pizookie.
Find the Pizookie commercial.
Yeah.
It's everything I hate in a commercial. It's like the 4 people that are eating. Got the black chick over there, got the Asian chick over there, got the white guy over here. It's
And
like
the gay guy.
And the gay guy.
Let's describe the studio.
I don't know who these people are. Yeah, but we get to leave. These are friends. I don't know. I don't like this much diversity.
What?
Pick an ethnicity. I don't know. I've never been out to a restaurant where they had the black guy, they got the gay guy, they got the Asian guy, they got the Mexican guy. They're all.
It's because he's never been to brunch with me.
It's too confusing for me.
Who's your best black friend beside me?
Oh boy, here we go.
Well, it used to be David Allen Greer, but then he disowned me.
What'd you do? That's like my mother. What did you do?
Oh no, he just thinks I'm a racist. So.
Oh, are you?
No,
I mean,
am.
you know.
Are you getting the vibe?
If you are, you should admit it.
No, I'm on
like
the.
I am.
Okay, I'm on the spectrum. You know what I mean? But I'm
He's
not.
a Kinsey 3.
Doesn't everyone have a little
That's what I'm
Asperger's
saying.
now?
Like, stop it with the bullshit.
He's a
Everybody
Clancy
got a
3.
little racism.
A little bit.
That's why, I mean, it was subliminal racism when I said, well, what the fuck does Adam Carolla, his people know about me? They don't know about me.
That's right.
But you do.
I do.
Don't use your bedroom voice on me. You trying to do.
Well, we're in the entry hall bathroom, baby. I got news for you. That's a different voice.
I'm not above the bullshit now.
Find me the Pizookie. It's BJ's.
You're talking a lot about food. Do we have any fucking food?
They run this shit every 10 seconds.
Can someone grab some food?
I've been eating the same piece of salami for like an hour.
We're gonna bring it home, Luenell. You'll be able to hit the fridge.
All right.
I see this commercial every 10 minutes on TV now. It's
I love the visuals. Is this on YouTube?
Yeah.
It's a guy.
Where's the camera?
They're here, and here.
I haven't even been looking at the camera this whole time.
That's okay. Forget about them.
Hi, everybody.
It's the only one they run. It's the guy with his inner monologue.
They have a ton online though, so we're trying to.
This
oh my god!
This show is derailed.
Red-haired guy says he's a black belt in karate.
Black. There you go again.
Yeah.
Maybe Dag was right.
He thinks he's going to get the last bite of Pizookie.
I see.
But he would be wrong.
Okay.
What movie was that?
Well, whatever they
give
say.
a person the last bite, that means you love him. What was that?
Mad
He
World?
gave me no. I think it was like Officer and a Gentleman, some shit. I don't know.
All right. We'll bring it home, Gina
Okay.
Grad.
I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
You can teach somebody to sing, but you can't teach somebody to sing.
Gina. That was the news with Gina Grad.
All right, Chris, you find that review from the LA Weekly? What do we do? We label things incorrectly, right?
That must have been it.
It's in the book. I mean, it's in one of my books.
Hilarious.
It'd probably be easier if I went to
Pizookie.
Move on.
It's everyone sitting at the table. It's the guy with the red beard who thinks he's gonna get the last bite of the Pizookie. It's the only one they ever run on TV, so I don't know. The internet's clogged things up.
Yeah, they must have.
What do you got for a Pizookie commercial?
Okay, we'll put one up, but I mean they're not. It's not the one you're looking for. So
All right. Well,
I want to know what a Pizookie looks like.
See if it's my guy.
It's a big chocolate chip cookie in a little skillet.
Sounds fucking great.
Like a girl. Yeah, for like 6 people should eat it.
Should
For
eat
real.
it.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
It's a lot.
Pizookie.
My place, BJ's. How have you been, Carol? Everyone's so nice here.
Oh my God.
We're talking serious pizza skills.
All right,
Oh,
I don't
not
see this
the
white
Vicky-
bitch.
Yeah.
What happened to the one? Oh, it's the only one they run on TV, so I don't know how they do it
Do
that
we
way.
have BJ's? I've never been in a BJ's.
Yeah, there's one over in my neighborhood.
Oh, really?
Yep, at the Westfield Mall on like Sepulveda and Slauson.
There used to be one at Surfer City.
Gotcha.
BJ's has got something for everybody. I will say that. I mean, well,
Say it.
Yeah, I meant BJ's the restaurant.
That's right.
Yeah.
But blowjobs also have something for everybody.
For almost everybody.
Yep. More blowjobs in the world would be a better place.
Oh, from
Amen.
your mouth to God's ears.
Listen, Dixon.
That would be so awesome.
Are you having a lack of oral sex, Adam?
Yeah, I could.
Dry
I
spell.
would say.
Hey, you'd ever date a black girl?
Well, yeah, I would.
But
For
you
sure.
haven't yet? Like, you're
No,
almost like...
I got a BJ from a
Clock's
black
ticking.
girl once.
I didn't ask you, did you get a motherfucking blowjob?
I got a Pizookie.
I said, did you ever...
No.
Fucking crack you
Yeah,
over the
yeah,
head.
I did. Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Who was it? Like Pam Grier or somebody? Tamara
Yeah,
Dodson?
it was Foxy Brown. It was Cleopatra Jones. I can't remember, but yes, I have. I find black women attractive.
Adam
Thank
often
you.
talks about how it doesn't matter what color, a 10's a
It's
10.
all about being hot.
Yeah,
It
You know what I
is.
mean? Yeah.
I know, I'm hot.
Yeah.
that's right.
And I will
Say it,
tell you
Adam.
this. I'll say it. I'll say it. You're hot. And I'll say this. And I put it out there. Speaking of oral,
Yes.
nobody receives like me. Now, I don't perform very well, but there's no better receiver of oral.
Well,
right?
what does that entail? Being
Well,
a
you're
good
going to find out.
Being
Am
We'll
lazy.
wrap this show up.
If I do, you better change the name of this motherfucking building. Tell you that.
You said you wanted some more salami, right? All right, Luenell, you can check out our YouTube page at Hey Luenell and Instagram at Hey Luenell. Come to Colorado
No,
Springs.
Instagram is just at Luenell.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Luenell. Don't just blow by my name.
At Luenell as well. And then she's coming to Charlotte and she's coming to Colorado. And you support this woman. And when you come out with the Netflix Chappelle produced project, please come back on.
Okay, for sure. You'll be alerted, and I'd be glad to come.
We will start chilling the champagne. Until next time, it's Adam Carolla for Gina and Bald and Luenell saying mahalo.
If anybody ever travels outside of the U.S. and you go to the Middle East or you go to
shook.
Mexico,
Yeah.
anywhere, if you go into like a kind of a bazaar type place, please, Americans, just it's part of,
Respectfully
they
haggle.
expect it.
Yes,
But
yes.
then you do the math. By the way, you do the math in your head. Sometimes you're like, wait a minute, the dollar to the peso. Wait a minute, I'm negotiating over 33 cents.